Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I am using Craftascope products by Nick Roberts to create an acrylic wall hanging using 2 acrylic squares and some Posca paint pens. I start by removing one side of the backing or the coating that covers the acrylic, and I'm using the Retro Circles stencil with some black gesso to create my first layer, and this will be the back of the hanging. I left that to dry thoroughly, and then I got out my brand new packet of pastel Posca pens. I love these pens. They're an acrylic paint pen and they write on or draw on a number of different surfaces, including the acrylic, and because they are a paint as opposed to an ink, they're really good for art journaling and all sorts of different mixed media projects. They're a really nice opaque colour as well, and I thought they would be ideal for adding some pattern and colour to my acrylic. So I'm just taking each colour in turn. I'm adding dots, dashes, solid areas of colour until I'm happy with the result I've got. Now when I'd finished adding my colour, I left this layer to thoroughly dry once again. I then added a coat of sparkle spray in a silver to help seal it in, and also so that some sparkle will show through the other side. Now I'm using Twisted Citron, Cracked Pistachio and Fossilized Amber Distress Oxide inks to create a very quick and simple background that I'm going to be using to cut out some of the retro leaves dies. I want to use the leaves to actually make a flower to go on the other side of my hanging. Once I'd cut out all my leaves, poked out all the little pieces, I wanted it to stand out a bit from the background, so I added a little bit of archival ink around the edges. I've also cut out a circle just using a normal circle die to create the centre of the flower as well. I'm using an acrylic based glue to stick my leaves, or petals as they now are, onto the back of the circle, and this is the bit that probably took me some of the longest time out of the whole project, as I was really trying to get the petals where I wanted them. now peeling off the back of the acrylic panel, and now you can see that I'm working on what is now the front. I decided to use a couple of the leaves actually as leaves as well, and I'm using a glue gel to fix my flower to the front of the panel. I'd also made a smaller acrylic panel using the exact same technique, and at this point I decided I didn't like the way that I could see too much light through the panel, as it meant that I couldn't really see the colours and the detail. So I decided to add some coats of a very cheap acrylic white paint to the back of each of the panels. I'm using the 2 stamps from the retro collection, 2 sets, to stamp the words hip and groovy. And I decided that I was going to cut these out by hand rather than using my paper trimmer, because I felt it sort of went with the retro style. I do find if you do cut things out by hand, because I'm never totally happy with it, if you add a little bit of ink around the edges, it sort of takes away from any imperfections you might have and makes it look properly framed. So now I'm just laying them out to show you how they would look. And after the video I stuck them down with some more glue gel, added some wire to the top to hang the acrylic up by, and some little jump rings just to connect the 2 pieces together. Hope you enjoyed the video. All links are in the description box underneath, and if you enjoyed, I'd love it if you could like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye.